At the moment, we have over a dozen stunt people, a dozen background people, and they're all fighters right now. And we're in this massive fight scene. We came across this young boy in a video who suffered from epidermolysis bullosa. With the skin condition that he has, he's unable to do like very simple tasks in life, and it really touched me.
Mind over body. That is what we want to make sure that we portray. Showing people that whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve it. And your body is not a limitation.
3, 2, 1, action!
So what we're doing today is doing a big comedy fight scene here. It's a bunch of social media superheroes. They're out fighting thugs and haters that want to take down the internet. My inspiration for this was, I've actually had this idea about 4 years ago. I always loved superheroes. I grew up watching Marvel, collecting comics. All the stuff that we're doing, I kind of like always fought with my brothers and just do imagination, fighting bad guys and everything. So to actually create that with all the costumes and being like a superhero, it kind of was very fulfilling as a childhood fight fantasy, if that makes any sense.
This is something that I've wanted to write and make a film about for a while. I used to do a lot of volunteer work, and I'd see a lot of older residents in Vancouver who lived by themselves. They lived in these really tiny apartment rooms where you would only see a bed and maybe a fridge and a cupboard. Despite the fact that you hear a lot of stories about how there's rich Asians moving into the city, there are a lot of people who are struggling, having trouble trying to adapt to how quickly the city is changing.
Project, as I was reading it so many times, it's getting really personal for me, at least. She sent me the script and I was like, oh, it's about a Chinese international student with a local student having a relationship here, but then end up separate. So that I was like, that's something I felt before.
We kind of got into a good talk about how we have different experiences as immigrants in Canada, and I just thought it'd be really interesting to dig into that difference, that contrast, because I like making stories that ask questions like that.
We both dealt with anxiety in the past and paranoia in a few cases when it's gotten really bad, and so I think that's kind of what led into wanting to make a film about that. When people are discriminated against, it becomes very isolating.
A lot of people don't realize that when you're put in that position, you feel like everyone's your enemy. Mm-hmm. You feel like anyone at any time could turn out to be a monster that you paint them as, and it's not a good way to live.
You don't really know what's going on with somebody's mental faculties, and so being careful how you treat other people and how you talk to other people is important because you don't know how it affects them.
What inspired me to make this film is that oftentimes me and my friends will have the conversation about the differences between CBC and VAFF, and we start to try to find identity for ourselves, try to find identity for other people. So some people feel like they don't really belong to any culture anymore. They're kind of just in this mix of culture. I think that's an interesting topic to talk about because that does happen a lot, especially in this multicultural city.
Action!
Steve and Joy are a couple. They have two kids. It's a great day and Steve gets this phone call and everyone's face just changes. The cell phone changes it from joy to just dread because he has to ruin this perfect day. Cell phones, right? I have a flip phone. I am very anti-cell phone and I watch people sort of it looks kind of alien to me. So I made a film kind of exploring the subject about how these things have taken over our lives, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse, but in any case, they have significantly altered what we do.
What we're trying to showcase is just a nice drama that kind of gives you a little bit of a twist at the end, and you just don't know what to expect until it kind of happens.
It's based on the Chinese culture, and I'm a true believer of the spiritual world. So I want to bring this film alive by telling the stories. My goal is to bring the Chinese community together and to remember the Chinese Ghost Festival that a lot of people has forgotten to celebrate. And Ghost Festival is kind of a Halloween, but but it's more about bringing family members together and remembering the dead ones so you don't forget them.
Filmmaking, it brings forth like different people, the team, everything. The whole experience for me is just the enjoyment of all that.
Mess that you had to go through to get to the finished product is like so like I guess satisfying at the end, and at the end of it, especially if it's a story that you really believe in.
And sometimes the ways that you get there is very unexpected because you don't know what's going to happen.
Contests are really awesome just to help a lot of people just get that movie made. And sometimes surprising, awesome things come out of contests.
It's a chance to just imagine and be creative, and anything that you wanted to create just come to life.
I think it's always exciting to see what kind of films other people make, and to see our film on a big screen. We really don't get a lot of opportunities to do that.
Being able to spread the message to as many people as we can, that's why we do it.
You have the power to change a person's life, and it's just simply letting your creativity flow.